Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today the Hotfix 8.0.1 came out, and I'm going to go through some of the changes that they have listed on their website, and then we're going to jump into the game and see exactly how this has changed, because my game is actually updating in the background while I am recording this. So, first up, changelog and update 0.80.1. We will carry out balance changes and improvements of aircraft carriers and AA stats. Alright, first one. To reduce the attacking and spotting potential of attack aircraft against destroyers in high-tier battles, the number of aircraft in the squadron was changed to 9, and the attacking group to 3. The changes affect the following aircraft carriers. Lexington, Tier 8 American. Tier 8 Japanese carrier Shokaku, Midway, the Tier 10 American, and the Hakuryu, the Tier 10 Japanese. Alright, very good. Increase the height which returning aircraft need to reach in order to become invulnerable to AA fire. This will allow ships to fire longer on returning aircraft and will help to counter the tactic in which the player gives the order to the squadron to return immediately after the first attack group's run. F key by default. We'll press F to pay respects to that tactic, because there goes that. So for those of you that don't know, basically I think it was iChase that came up with this tactic, where you would literally just one attack run on the ship you're attacking, hit F, it gets all of your planes back to the carrier fast because they fly high up to where they can't be shot at with AA, and then you have all those planes already back out on the deck, so you could just literally just spit out just squadron after squadron after squadron after squadron of planes and overwhelm whatever ship you were attacking. So that's good that they're changing that. This one, maneuvering among the AA explosions allows you to reduce the damage received from air defense. Even while in the AA range of ships with powerful air defense, we redistributed the efficiency of air defense between the constant damage taken and the puffs of damage from explosions. The efficiency was increased for the former and decreased for the latter. So, okay, well, let me finish it, then I'll wrap this up. This will keep the tactics of dodging explosions still effective, but will not allow planes to stay too long in the range of air defense without taking significant losses, especially when attacking a formation of ships. So for those who don't know, the way it used to work now was that most of the AA damage was coming from the puffs of smoke, the flat clouds. And you were getting some constant damage, because the way it used to work in the old AA system was that you had so much AA DPS in your AA bubble. You had your long range did so much DPS, your medium range did so much DPS, and your short range did so much DPS. It was constant damage to the planes. And now it's it used to be mostly in the flat clouds, but now it looks like it's gone back to you will be doing constant damage if they are within a certain range, within a certain ring of your AA bubble. But the flat clouds are still going to be doing damage, but it looks like the constant damage has been increased, and that's going to cut back. Well, that should cut back, hopefully, a lot of those aggravating moments when a highly skilled player who knows how to dodge the AA very well can just fly circles around your ship without losing very many planes. But it looks like now this is going to make AA more effective for pretty much anybody. It should make the AA more effective for everybody. All right. Next up, change several features of the Japanese torpedo bombers. Now, if during the preparation for the attack group maneuvers, your aim will not stabilize, aiming cone stops narrowing. And when maneuvering during an attack run, begins to widen. In order to carry out an effective attack, you need to preemptively choose the line of attack and try not to make last-minute maneuvers. Very good. Reduce the chance of flooding by approximately a third for the Japanese aerial torpedoes in tiers 4 through 8, and by half for Germans. Tier 8, which is the only German aircraft carrier, the Graf Zeppelin, in Japanese Tier 10 aerial torpedoes. I think that's very good for the Hakuryu, because those planes are ungodly fast, and it's almost impossible for you to dodge them if they get a good run off on you. Which, I mean, it kind of should be, but it's good that they reduce the chance of flooding. Significant changes have affected the alternative plane torpedo module for the Hakuryu. The attack run preparation is now longer and more difficult. The parameters of the aiming were changed, and the angles of the torpedo spread were increased even when aiming is at its most accurate. In addition, the speed of aircraft when returning the carrier is reduced, and the delay before the start of a new attack is increased. We have significantly changed the characteristics of torpedoes, reduced speed, increased detection radius, and army time. That is very good, because the Hakuryu was just shitting out torpedoes. Good. To increase the effectiveness of attacks, we added resistance to AA damage from bombers. at the time of readiness to attack when the aiming indicator turns green. In this phase of the attack, all bombers will receive 30% less damage. Okay. Bug fixes. The aiming for the stock the stock attack aircraft and the carrier Ranger, Tier 6 American, is now similar to the aiming for all American attack aircraft. The characteristics of the basic fighter consumable for the Emerald, Tier 5 British cruiser, are brought to the same value as Fighter 2, and the minimum speed of the stock Japanese bombers of all tiers does not exceed the minimum speed on the researchable bombers. Okay. If the ship has no 25mm AA guns, medium range AA defense starts at 1 kilometer. These ships' AA configuration will now be emphasized if you can't shoot planes inside of a 1 kilometer range. Short range AA defense now includes guns up to 30mm. This change will combine weak medium range AA defenses with short range AA defenses, strengthening the latter and removing the zone where the effectiveness of anti-aircraft guns was low. This will affect ships such as, for example, the cruisers Atlanta, Pensacola, Dallas, and battleships Colorado and Arizona. And there's a bunch of bug fixes and some changes to test ships. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, so a lot of changes in a very fast time. I must applaud World Warships for getting this hotfix out this fast, and I'm really glad that they have. A lot of people are getting fed up with the current state of carriers. So right now what we're going to do is we're just going to go in and see how this works. I'm going to take out my car first, then Missouri, and then probably a cruiser to see how that works now. Alright guys, so I intended for this to be like a live commentary thing, but the simple fact is I could barely get in a game with a carrier. And this, of course, shocked me because yesterday and the day before when I played, it was like you couldn't not get in a game with a carrier. And today I played for 6 games and I only had carriers for 2 of them. And that shocked the crap out of me. Now, I'm not sure if it's just because people are downloading the update and there's less people on, but, I mean, still, you know, you guys know, I play mostly high tiers, and there are carriers everywhere in high tier gameplay after the rework. I mean, anyone who's played tier 8 plus, you know the situation. But however, the games that I did have carriers in, there was a game where it was 2 tier 8s, it was a Lexington and a Shokaku on one side, and I think an Enterprise and a Shokaku on the other side. And I gotta say, I did notice the things about the update that the update said it did. I mean, of course, the things that the update said changed. It did change, and it feels better. Granted, you know, this is only from 2 games, but I mean, you know, 6 games of World of Warships, that's a couple hours, and I'm on a tight schedule. But just from the brief taste that I got for it, it feels better. Granted, I did only go up against 1 tier 10 carrier, and that was only 1 per side and not 2 per side like is allowed now. Yeah, you can actually get up to 3 carriers per side with the new rework, which is spooky. But it feels better. I feel like my AA was actually working a bit more, because, you know, I did have a round in Missouri, and she did shoot down, you know, a fair chunk of the squadron when they were around. But think about the way the AA works now. Nothing is certain, because you have some runs on, like, if you're playing a carrier, you can have some runs on an enemy ship where, you know, you manage to dodge all the AA, and then some runs where, you know, sometimes the clouds just appear, the flat clouds just appear right in front of your planes. You can't really do anything about it, because at the end of the day, you're still, well, the way the old AA system worked, it was at least something that was AI controlled against something that was AI controlled. Because yes, you could tell in the old CV gameplay, you could tell your planes, hey, I want you to go attack this target, and they would go off and do it. And yeah, you could manual drop and stuff, but as far as the flight there, it was AI controlled, and they pretty much just flew in a straight line. But now you're having something that's player controlled against something that's AI controlled, and it boils down to pretty much just RNG. With the flat clouds, and they did add some more degrees of certainty with the constant AA DPM damage coming back now. Well, not really coming back, but being increased. So there is that realm of certainty, but the flat clouds, which are, you know, pockets of high damage, it's pretty much RNG, because you yourself as a surface ship can't tell your, you know, I want a pocket of AA clouds, pocket of flat clouds right there. You know, you can shift your AA fire to get more flat clouds on one side of your ship, but you can't say I want to saturate that right there, this one sector, you know, of your like say you see a group of planes coming and they're flying a straight line. You say, hey, I want you guys to saturate that area with flak. You know, you can't tell them to do that. You can saturate that side of the ship, but not that one certain cone. Like, say if like the and I would actually get behind this. If they would break up the priority sector into like 8 cones on one side of your ship, and you could tell your AA crews, I want to saturate this side, this sector, and this sector, and this sector. You know, and that way you can move it as the planes shift. And I would say it would only take, I don't know, a second or two for them to switch rather than 15 seconds. You know, and that would be better. Or you just tell them, you know, just to saturate that whole side or stay normal. And that's what I think would be better, because it's now player skill against player skill. But, you know, also when you're trying to pilot a ship, you can't really take the time to, you know, do that, because you're busy trying to angle against, you know, other surface ships. But overall, I do feel this is a step in the right direction for wargaming. I really feel that all this could have been avoided if they had just tested this rework more. I cannot stress that enough. I do appreciate the speed at which they're responding to this, but this would have been unnecessary if they just tested it better and more, and I don't know, had a larger sample size when it was in early development and such, rather than I'm guessing the people that tested this were wargaming staff when it was really early. And then the beta, and then the open beta, but I mean, still, I feel this came out too fast. It still needed work. It still needs work, but they are working on it, and I can gladly say now that I'm happy about that. So guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the hotfix. Do you agree with me? Was it, you know, it's good, but if they had just tested it more, it would be unnecessary? Or do you think this rework is still just and it never should have happened? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, guys, thanks for watching. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful Friday. And I will see all of you guys in the next one.